Okay, folks, we are live now. As I've done once before, about a year ago, I didn't hit the go live, and I'm thinking I was live. So now we are live. And let's see. Okay, so welcome to Friday Night Tech Talk. If you're new here, Eleanor's here. Glad you're here, and glad you let me know that I didn't hit the go live button. uh, Flustered myself, of course. But if you're new here, please type something in the comments. Let us know you're there. We do this every week. I pick some articles that I think tech nerds like myself might be interested in. And if there's a big presentation of the week, I try to include that. And of course, this week we had Samsung, and my show notes this week are going to be very, very Samsung leaning. So, like I said, if you're new here, please type something in the comments. Let us know where you're from. But we will head over to my webpage and we'll take a look at tonight's show notes. So, going to let's see. Share screen. Take a look at the show notes. So if we go to mobilegeezer.wordpress.com, click on today's date, you'll get just the show notes for tonight's show. And as I do every week, I'll give you a little preview of what we're going to talk about tonight. I told you it's going to be very Samsung heavy. So I just happened to start with this one. The Samsung Trifold is still on the way. We all expected something mentioning it in this week's presentation, and there wasn't a word about it. So I thought I'd let you guys know it's still going to be on the way for some time this year. So that's where we'll start. And as I usually do, if we have a heavy presentation, that's going to be our second story. And of course, Galaxy Unpacked was this week. And I have all the new products revealed at Galaxy Unpacked. I found that one on Engadget. So we'll go take a look and see everything that was presented. After that, I came up with the Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE, what you really get. That's the one that I pre-ordered. And people are saying, well, you should just get the 7 because it's only a $200 difference. And there's Mario. Mario, glad you're here. Yes, I just said on this third story, the Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE is the one that I bought. I wasn't spending $2,000 for the 7, but of course, I do have my OnePlus Open still, and it's still my great folding phone, so I don't find the need to pick up a Galaxy folding phone. But the Flip I haven't had in a while, so that is the one that I've gone for. So we'll get into that. And then after that, the Galaxy Watch 8 and Watch 8 Classic, and I did trade in my 7 to pick up the 8, both of your phone and the watches I should be getting towards the end of the month. So we'll talk about that. And then after that, we had a fascinating story about Grok. I said Grok, X's anti-Semitic Nazi chatbot. And we've got that story on Engadget. I'm sure you've all heard the anti-Semitic stuff that Grok came up with. I gathered totally on its own, but we'll check out that story. And we'll end up with a story on X because ex-CEO Linda Yaccarino, she has stepped down. Got that story on The Verge. I thought that was kind of fascinating. So those would be our stories for tonight. So glad Eleanor's here, glad Mario's here. And Mario said he got the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic. That's what I went for too, Mario. Same thing. And he traded his Galaxy Watch 4. I traded my Galaxy Watch 7. So I got a nice chunk of change for that. I'm only end up paying a little less than half price because of my trade-in. There's Ellie. Glad to have you here. She's back from vacation with her family. Good for her. So glad you're here. So, like I said, very Samsung heavy this week. And I did check twice already to see if we had heard from Ted. I'll check once more. Nope, nothing new from Ted. So to me, that means we have a shot at him dropping in. But of course, he's in Dallas, an hour behind us. So it's only 7:09 there. So he may be out enjoying the sunshine or taking pictures with his side business. So who knows? But whenever I don't hear from him, I figure, okay, there's a shot that Ted may drop in. So we'll find out. So I'm going to go back to the first story. Like I said, we'll start with this. The Samsung Trifold is still on the way, plus other hardware. Found this on Tech Radar, so let's go check it out. Samsung promises that it hasn't forgotten about the Galaxy Trifold or the Galaxy Tab S11. Here's when to expect them. Like I said, we all thought we'd hear something about the Trifold at the presentation this week. Not one word about it. So this was published 2 days ago by David Neild. Both are coming soon. Let's drop it into Reader View and get rid of these ads. We saw plenty of new product announcements at the Samsung Galaxy Unpacked 2025 event yesterday. Of course, now that was 2 days ago. But we didn't quite get all of the news we were expecting, and Samsung has gone on the record to clarify that more launches are on the way. First up, as reported by the Korea Times Android Authority, Samsung Mobile Chief T.M. Rowe has said the long-awaited Galaxy Trifold phone should be coming before the end of 2025, so sometime in there. So adjust your savings plans accordingly. You can count on the fact, I'm going to guess $3,000 for this thing, but we'll see. We are working hard on a Trifold smartphone with the goal of launching it at the end of this year, Rowe told journalists. We are now focusing on perfecting the products, so that tells me they must have it working, and its usability, but we have not decided its name, so no name as yet. One name in the running is apparently the Samsung Galaxy G Fold, but watch this space. The device will seemingly come with 2 hinges and 3 sections to its main display, and is also rumored to cost quite a bit, as you would expect. Gee, no surprise there. Tablets are coming too. That's the Tab 10, Tab S10, but we're looking for the S11. Next up, there's the Samsung Galaxy Tab S11 tablet series following on from the models we saw last year, including the Samsung Galaxy Tab X10 Plus. There's an update here as well, again, courtesy of Android Authority, and that's the picture is of the S10 Ultra. According to a Samsung executive, the Galaxy Tab S11 devices, so multiple obviously, coming through shortly in line with the traditional cadence. So I would think sooner rather than later, which most likely means a September launch this year to match the 2024 schedule, and that would make perfect sense. Leaks around the Samsung Galaxy Tab S11 tablets have been pretty thin. Yeah, I haven't heard a word about them on the ground so far, but we're expecting both the standard model and an Ultra edition to match the Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra as Samsung takes on the best iPads once more. In the meantime, we've got hands-on impressions of all the devices Samsung did announce yesterday, and we're going to go over that. So just wanted to let you guys know that, of course, the S11 is still coming, but the big thing is the folding phone that the trifolding phone that everybody's looking for. So that is still on the way, but we don't know when. So let's move on to our main story of the week. All the new products revealed at Galaxy Unpacked 2025. This was on Engadget. Galaxy Unpacked 2025, everything Samsung announced, including the Z Fold 7, Z Flip 7, and Galaxy Watch 8. Plus, there's a new, more affordable Z Flip 7 FE, that's what I ordered, and an updated Galaxy Watch Classic also. I ordered that and getting a nice trade-in on that. And this is by Igor Bonifacic, I think. And this is from Wednesday. That was the day of the presentation. So let's drop it into Reader View. Pre-release leaks may have spoiled most of the surprises Samsung had up its sleeve for Wednesday's Unpacked event, but there were still some interesting details to, I think he means glean, not gleam, from the presentation. For example, we knew the Galaxy Z Fold 7 would be Samsung's thinnest foldable ever. But now we know part of the reason for that is because the company dropped S Pen support. That's right. Since they don't have to stick the S Pen in there, they were able to make it thinner, and a lot of people are really upset about that. Samsung also announced updates to its family of Galaxy Watch devices. Here's everything the company had to share at the latest Galaxy Unpacked. Oh, by the way, BG Tech Life did a nice video talking about the Z Fold 7 yesterday. He has a Z Fold 6. I think he's had like 3 or 4 of them in the row. He is not ordering this one. And he made the point in his video, you should go watch it on BG Tech Life, that nobody that he's aware of in the tech community was looking for this thinnest fold ever, and why they felt like they had to do it. But of course, I thought about it, and what does Samsung always have to do? They have to try to beat Apple. And who has been saying for over a year now that the 17 was going to be the thinnest iPhone ever made? So of course, Samsung had to make the thinnest fold ever made. That's very obvious. They always chase Apple. So anyway, if you get a chance, check out BG Tech Life's video. He did a really nice job explaining why he's not getting it and why he didn't think it was necessary. And of course, we'll go over the price, and a lot of people are upset about that too. Samsung kicked Unpack off with its new flagship foldable for 2025, the Galaxy Z Fold 7. After 6 previous iterations, the company has arrived at its thinnest foldable phone yet. And that's supposed to be a big deal, but as BG said, he didn't think it was a big deal, neither do I. With the new device measuring 8.9 millimeter thick when closed and 4.2 millimeters unfolded. If you're curious at its thickest, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is only 0.7 millimeter thicker than the Galaxy S25 Ultra. That is pretty good. And 26% thinner than the previous Fold. Also pretty good. The new handset is also Samsung's lightest foldable yet, weighing in at just 215 grams. And all the videos I've watched, they're all kind of astounded how light it is. Despite the glow up, Samsung says the Z Fold 7 is also more durable than its predecessors thanks to the inclusion of a new grade 4 titanium layer and a redesigned flex hinge, and they're saying you can hardly see it, that should make the display crease on the Z Fold 7 less prominent. And watching, I watched MKBHD's, but Flossie Carter did a real good one, and it was very hard to see the crease. Speaking of the display, it's now 8 inches big, up from 7.6 inches previously, so it's a big display. Internally, the new phone features Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset and the 4400 milliamp battery. Samsung has dropped S Pen support. People are very upset about that, claiming stylus use, get this, on the Z Fold 6 was really low. And part of the reason the new foldable is so slim is that the company was free to remove the digitizer that was needed to process stylus input. So not only did they remove the S Pen, this one won't even work with an S Pen because no digitizer. Storage starts at 256 gigabytes and 512 gigabytes, and 1 terabyte configurations available. In addition to being thin, the Z Fold 7 offers Samsung's best phone camera to date. The foldable has a massive 200 megapixel main sensor. It also comes with a 10 megapixel telephoto camera with 3 times optical zoom and the 12 megapixel ultra wide. The company has once again tweaked the inside camera. It's no longer under the screen, and some people like that, and offers a wider 100-degree field of view with 10 megapixel of resolution. The selfie, Samsung has once again gone with a 10 megapixel sensor above the phone's cover screen. Rounding things out, the company has updated its visual engine to support 10-bit HDR capture, and that's on, I think, all the phones, which is good. Tech Odyssey did a couple of videos about it already, and he did a real good one today about the Z Fold 7, so you should probably check out Tech Odyssey's coverage too. He seems kind of happy about it, and he doesn't seem to think that it's overpriced at $2,000. A matter of opinion, I guess. Pre-orders for the Galaxy Z Fold 7 start today, that was Wednesday, with general availability to follow on July 25th. And both my watch and my Z Flip 7 FE are both projecting the 25th as my date that I should get it. So we'll see. Pricing starts at $2,000, so you know I'm not going there. I spent $1,400 this OnePlus Open 2.5 years ago, and I'm not spending $2,000 on a phone. At launch, Samsung will offer the phone in 3 colors: Blue Shadow, Jet Black, and Silver Shadow. Samsung will also exclusively carry the phone in a mint color. Flossie had that mint color. He loves it. The Z Fold 7 will ship with Android 16 out of the box. Okay, Galaxy Z Flip 7. Now, I haven't had a Galaxy Flip in about 3.5 years, something like that. So I'm just kind of missing it. And right now, the only Samsung Galaxy I have is the A54, which is, of course, way down. And I just felt like, okay, since they gave us the FE, even though they only dropped 200 off, I figured, all right, let me go for that. And I'm kind of excited about it. And over the weekend, I'll probably do a quick video of why I bought the Galaxy Flip 7 FE. So you'll see that over the weekend. Samsung's clamshell foldable has also received some upgrades. The new Galaxy Z Flip 7 has a 4.1-inch edge-to-edge flex window display with 1.25 millimeter bezels. That's good enough to give it the thinnest display bezel on any Samsung phone. Additionally, the new screen offers a 120 Hz refresh rate and 2600 nits of peak brightness. It also works with Google Gemini, along with Samsung's own suite of AI features, including Now Bar and Now Brief. So the big thing is the full-size window. Because it's 4.1 inches, I think 1 inch or a tiny bit bigger than the Motos. So I think they're kind of proud about that. On the inside, Samsung has increased the size of the main screen for the first time. It's now 6.9 inches, up from 6.7 inches on the Z Flip 6. For context, that's the same size as the screen on the S25 Plus, so pretty good. Samsung has also equipped the Z Flip 7 with a larger 4300 milliamp battery. The entire phone offers improved water protection compared to its predecessor, and the new Armor Flex hinge should better protect the internal display against unsightly creasing. Now, I'm sure this will upset some people, but Samsung has decided to spec the Z Fold 7 with one of its in-house chipsets. Yes, the Exynos 2500. Both of the Flips got that. instead of a Qualcomm Snapdragon. I know what you're thinking, but the company's recent processors have been great. The Exynos 2400E was the best part of the S24 FE. So I guess they're getting there with the Exynos processors. For photos and videos, the Galaxy Z Flip 7 has a 50 megapixel main camera supported by a 12 megapixel ultra wide. For self-portrait, you can use either the main camera or the 10 megapixel camera selfie camera found on the inside of the phone. Like the Z Fold 7, Samsung has updated the Z Flip 7's camera engine to support 10-bit HDR capture, and I believe the FE also has that. The Z Flip 7 is available for pre-order today. It comes in 3 colors, coral red, blue shadow, and jet black, and 2 storage configurations, 256, 512. As with the Z Fold 7, Samsung will also exclusively carry the phone in a mint color. Pricing starts at $1,100, which is the same as last year. And since they had the FE, I wasn't spending $1,100. Yes, I had to go for the 9, but I had trade-in. But I just didn't want to spend the $1,100 for it. And I'm just kind of excited to have a flip phone again. So here we go with the one I ordered. Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE. If the high cost of Samsung's foldable has kept you from buying one in the past, and I had the 3 and the 4, and I haven't had one since. This year, Samsung is trying to offer a more affordable way to enter the ecosystem. I say it's trying because at $900, the Z Flip 7 FE is still a nearly $1,000 phone. For that price, you get what last year's Z Flip 6 with an Exynos 2400 processor and a smaller 3700 milliamp battery. That's true. The design of the new model doesn't include any of the flourishes found on the Z Flip 7, including the edge-to-edge flex window, so it's still got the smaller one. It's basically the hardware is the Flip 6, but the insides are more like the Flip 7. Display or the larger internal screen. For what it's worth, the Samsung Galaxy AI Suite is included in the package. So software-wise, you get almost the same stuff, and that's why I went for it. Storage on the FE starts at 128 gigabytes. Oh, because I pre-ordered, and of course I had the $50 off, and I had a trade-in, so I got a nice chunk of change off. Samsung, well, I got a 256 because of my pre-order, and that was at the 128 gigabytes price. Samsung will also sell a 256 variant for those who need more space. This being an FE model, colors are just 2, white and black. I chose black. Like all of its siblings, the Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE is available to pre-order today and expected to hit store shelves on July 25th, which is the day it's expected to deliver to me. See, Ellie said, that's too much money for my budget. That's $2,000. Same price as a long visit with grandbabies down south. I'm still looking at the Flip, though. And that Watch 8 with the bezel, now that's very tempting. That's the other thing that I did order, and we're on to that right now. Galaxy Watch 8. Oh, and I'll have another story following this about the Flip 7 FE because it has a little more in-depth coverage. Galaxy Watch 8 and Watch 8 Classic. So it turns out Mario and I both went for the Watch 8 Classic. If you had the bezel before, you probably missed it, and that's going to draw you right back to it. So I'm sure that's why we both bought it. And I had a nice trade-in. They gave me, from my 7, they gave me $200. So by the time of my discounts, I had paid less than half the price. As expected, Samsung has also updated its wearable line for 2025. Starting with the Galaxy Watch 8, it now features a thinner design reminiscent of last year's Galaxy Watch Ultra. Like with that device, Samsung has gone with a squircle form factor. Now, the first time I heard that word, even though everybody's talking about it now, was in Flossie's video. And you know, Flossie had fun with that word. But the squircle is because it's square and it's circular. So squircle. There's also a new lug system for changing out straps, so you're not going to be able to use your old straps. As mentioned, the new watch is also thinner. In this case, it's 11% smaller than its predecessor. Despite the size reduction, the Galaxy Watch 8 offers better battery life thanks to the inclusion of larger power cells on both the 40 millimeter and 44 millimeter models. The former has a 325 milliamp battery, while the latter has a 435. A new AMOLED display offers 3,000 nits of peak brightness to make the watch easier to read in harsh sunlight. That's good. Pardon me. Samsung has also improved the Watch 8's ingress protection. That's good too. The wearables case is rated 5 ATM and IP68 certified against water and dust. That's very good. As for software, the Galaxy Watch 8 will ship with Wear OS 6 out of the box, making it the first Samsung wearable to offer the new operating system, which is great because the phones come with Android 16, which is also great. Included in the update is Google's Gemini Assistant, which thanks to AI can better understand better natural language. That's very good. New to the entire Galaxy Watch family is a feature that Samsung claims can accurately measure the antioxidant levels of your blood. To use the tool, you need to take the Galaxy Watch 8 off your wrist and place the device's heart rate scanner on your thumb. And you guys know me, I'm so healthy, I probably will never use that, but good for most people, I guess. The Galaxy Watch 8 Classic offers all of the enhancements found on the base model alongside the rotating bezel. Yes! The Classic series is known for it. This year, Samsung plans to only offer the Watch 8 Classic in a single 46 millimeter size. And Flossie had it. It looks great at that size. And Flossie's big like me, so I think that's the perfect size for us big guys. That model comes with a 445 milliamp battery. Samsung is probably holding off on a proper Watch Ultra update for 2025. Yeah, I think they came out with a new color or something, but that's about it. Instead, the company has announced a new SKU, the wearable that has 64 gigabytes of internal storage and the lug system found on its Sigma. So they came up with a Watch Ultra, but nothing new really. Pricing for the Galaxy Watch 8 series starts at $350. The Watch 8 Classic, $500. Like I said, I paid less than half because of my trade-in, and $550 for the Wi-Fi and cellular models, respectively. The entire family is available to pre-order today and will hit retail more broadly on July 25th. Now, this I didn't realize. Samsung Wallet gets buy now, pay later support. Samsung also updated some of its software features this unpacked, and one piece of news that might get overlooked, I totally didn't catch it, is something coming to Samsung Wallet. After launching a tap-to-transfer feature last year and announcing instant installment in January, which I didn't know, the company is sharing today that its buy now, pay later service is launching with the Fold 7. So, interesting. Very interesting. So, that's everything that was announced. Now, let's see. Yep. We're going to get into a little more depth with the Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE. Let me get a drink of my green tea. Oh, and I showed you guys that I had the OnePlus open, but my main phone for work today was my Nothing Phone 3A Pro, and then, of course, my backup phone was my OnePlus Open. And the reason that I have my Nothing Phone 3A Pro as the main phone, you guys know I base everything on my watches, is because I'm wearing my Amazfit GR4 today, and that's the one my Nothing Phone 3A Pro is matched to. So I just wanted to show you guys that while I remembered. Okay, Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE, what you really get. And this was on Android Authority. Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE shows us what Samsung thinks is an affordable foldable looks like. We've wondered for years what a lower price Samsung foldable phone would offer, and now we have the company's answer. This also came out Wednesday and by Stephen Shank. So let's drop into review. While foldable phones have been around for years now, relatively high prices compared to their stiff screen brethren have meant that they've been an unapproachable option for many smartphone shoppers. And for the longest time, we've been wondering when a major player in the foldable space might finally tackle a challenge of creating a foldable phone with not just market appeal, but a price tag to match. Now, keep in mind, Motorola has already give you the higher end and the cheaper model too, but Samsung hadn't until now. For this year's refresh to its folding lineup, Samsung is bringing us not just the new Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7, but its first attempt at cracking that budget foldable nut. I certainly wouldn't call this budget. The Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE. How does this hardware stack up against the full-blown Z Flip 7? And is it, I think, worth, is what he's trying to say, your consideration? Let's take a look. So what's it look like? Okay. Cheapest Galaxy foldable to date, 50 megapixel primary camera, $900. Budget-friendly Galaxy Z Flip. With as few compromises as possible to bring the price down, the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE rocks a 6.7-inch main display because it's basically the 6's hardware, a 3.4-inch front display, and the Exynos chipset. That's the difference. Both the phones have that Exynos chipset. Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE release date, price, and availability. Okay. While the idea behind the Flip 7 FE has been to create a more budget-friendly alternative to Samsung's flagship flip and fold phones, this $900 starting price makes perfectly clear that Samsung is keeping all of its foldables in premium pricing territory. The full-blown Flip 7 starts at just $1,100, and while $200 is a decent discount on its own, the more appropriate comparison to make here is almost certainly with last year's Flip 6, and we'll get to why in just a moment. Just like Samsung's other new foldables, pre-orders for the Galaxy Z Flip open today ahead of retail availability because this was commencing July 25th. Colors. Unlike the rainbow assortment of options you'll find in some of Samsung's other handsets, the Flip 7 FE, the company is keeping things basic. You've got the choice of black or white. That's true. All right, features. Let's not beat around the bush here. We've got the Z Flip 7 FE on the left here, and you can see the difference. And next to the Z Flip 7. So the Z Flip 7 has the newer, bigger screen, and of course, this is nothing but the Z Flip 6 hardware. But I basically ordered for the software at a cheaper price. And if our FE model looks very, very familiar to you, there's a perfectly good reason why. This is essentially the Galaxy Z Flip 6 brought back for round two with a few very minor hardware changes. Yeah, I wasn't looking for the hardware. I was looking for the software. If you are happy with the cameras on the Flip 6, we've got good news for you because that's exactly what you get with the Flip 7 FE. I think the cameras are the same on both models, I believe. In our review of the Galaxy Z Flip 6, we noticed that while there was nothing particularly jaw-dropping about the camera package Samsung had put together for its smaller foldable, the combination of the 50-megapixel wide-angle lens and the 12-megapixel ultra-wide option offered a solid pairing. Even without a dedicated zoom lens, we were largely pleased with the Flip 6's ability to produce shots at up to 10 times zoom. And once again, we're getting a 10-megapixel front facer that should work just fine when you need it, but you'll probably be using the main cameras and the external display for the best selfies possible. Yeah, most people use the outside cameras for selfies also. And I believe that's true with the big and the smaller phones. Software features. One nice thing about picking up the Galaxy Flip picking up the Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE over the Flip 6 is that it arrives running Samsung's latest software out of the box. One UI 8 is based on Android 16, making Samsung a leader in embracing Galaxy's new release. So yeah, I think the Pixel and them are the only two with Android 16 so far. Sure, you'll get all that as an update on the Flip 6 too, but first is first. Some of those upgrades you can look forward to, including being able to access Galaxy AI features right from the external Flex window display, including Gemini Live, and the convenience of Samsung's Now Bar and Now Brief in One UI 8. Considering the extent to which the Z Flip 7 FE is a Flip 6 with a new name, it can be hard to point to concrete reasons to recommend this specific hardware. Yeah, but software, that's different. The software at least brings up one small area where the 7 FE has an advantage. Samsung's 7 years of promised OS and security updates will support this phone 1 year past the Flip 6's end of life date. Performance. Here's probably the biggest area where users can expect to find a different experience between the Z Flip 7 FE and last year's Z Flip 6. While the vast majority of this handset's hardware is a Flip 6 holdover, Samsung is swapping out the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy with one of its own Exynos 2400 chips. Honestly, the Exynos 2400 fares pretty well against the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, and while they're not neck and neck, they're in the same ballpark. So I feel like I'm doing good having the 2400 in this case. Beyond the change of SoC, the other notable tweak Samsung has made with the Z Flip 7 FE is downgrading the Z Flip 6's 12 gigabytes of RAM to just 8 gigabytes. That's true. Considering the meager cost savings that must represent, this one really feels like a bit of a slap. And with the increasing focus on on-device AI in 2025, we can't imagine anyone's really begging for less memory. But hopefully, it is what it is, and hopefully it'll be just fine. I think it'll be just fine. Like the look of that big, expensive Flex window on the right? That's 7. While the Z Flip 7 there gets a nice exterior screen upgrade, our Flip 7 FE on the left goes with exactly the same screen layout we're familiar with from the Flip 6. Since the last one I had was a Flip 4, that's okay with me. This means a 6.7-inch AMOLED panel on the inside with a resolution of 2640 by 1080 and supporting up to a 120 hertz refresh rate. And out front here, we will see the return of a 3.4-inch 720 by 748 AMOLED panel with that wonky file folder shape. Design and build quality. Samsung tells us it returned to the Z Flip's chassis for the Z Flip 7 FE. Yeah, they probably had a lot of them sitting around, and the specs confirm as much. This is a match down to the 10th of a millimeter. That means the return of the Z Flip 6's IP rating that was reasonably a big deal last year, and while we're happy to see Samsung not making any downgrades here, it's also that much less of a get. On the flip side, pun not intended, the Galaxy Z Flip 7 isn't getting any upgrades there either and remains IP48 territory, which is fine with me. Samsung has built the Z Flip 7 FE using Armor aluminum and protects the phone's finish with the help of Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2, which is great. Battery and charging. While the Galaxy Z Flip 7 enjoys a modest battery boost of 4,300 milliamps, the Z Flip 7 FE returns with the same 4,000 milliamps, so that should be fine. We saw on the Z Flip 6. Battery life last year was fine, but not really exceptional, and while the change of SoC could impact that with a bit with Samsung's new hardware, we really wouldn't expect a sea change, so it might be a little bit better. Who knows? We'll find out. Charging support remains capped at 25 watts. Yeah, some people thought you should have gotten more with these phones, which just feels a bit sluggish, especially when we're dropping 900 on a phone. And of course, it's bring your own charger. So you've got the list of specs, which I'm not going to go over. We've already read about everything. And let's see. With as few compromises as possible to bring the price down, the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE rocks at 6.7. Okay, so we've read all about that. So pretty much we've gone through everything. So just wanted to give you guys a little more in-depth coverage on the Flip 7. So even though it's the hardware is a Flip 6 copy, I still think it's a better phone because of the upgraded internals and software. So that's my thinking on it. Right, nothing else new in the comments, and Ted has not come in, so I don't know what he's doing. I know he starts a new job, I think, next week, and he was excited for that too. So hopefully it won't be too much longer before we see him. All right, and the Galaxy Watch 8 and Watch 8 Classic Squircle redesign, Android Authority. I love that Squircle word. Flossie had fun with that word. I've seen the Samsung Galaxy Watch 8 and 8 Classic, and I don't hate the Squircle redesign. The Galaxy Watch 8 and 8 Classic need to be seen in person to be truly appreciated. He says over and over again that these things are much nicer in person, so I'm pretty excited about that. And this is by Zach Q. Dennis. That's the first time I've read that name. Hopefully I said it right. And this again from Wednesday. And we'll drop it into review. Okay. Samsung's Galaxy watches have looked almost identical since the brand returned to Wear OS with the Galaxy Watch 4 in 2021, with the exception of last year's Galaxy Watch Ultra, which I wasn't spending the money for that. That's why I got the 7. Now, the rest of the Galaxy Watch lineup is changing to match their Ultra cousin with a new shape and strap mechanism that makes the Watch 8 series the biggest redesign in Samsung's wearable history. I had some brief hands-on time with the Galaxy Watch 8 and 8 Classic, and they could be Samsung's best despite the quirky looks. I don't think the looks are quirky, but different. So, there's the Watch 8. Bright display, powerful health features, Gemini built in. Okay. And there's the Classic. You see, you got the square and the circle, so Squircle. Rotating bezel, bright display, best software features. Watch 8 design. There it is up close. The Galaxy Watch 8 has adopted a similar design to the Watch Ultra, placing the circular display within the Squircle frame. It's certainly a divisive move. I don't think so. But I think it looks great in person, far better than it looks in any of Samsung's press images. And everybody says it looks way better in person. Samsung says the design change was made to make the watch more comfortable, and I have to agree. The Watch 8 is thinner than its predecessors, and the wider footprint makes it sit on my wrist without the curve of the housing digging into my skin, so that's good. The metal lugs that the strap attaches to are gone, replaced with the same mechanism that's used for the watch bands on the Galaxy Watch Ultra, so you can't use your old ones. As you can see illustrated by the side-by-side with my Galaxy Watch 6. Let's see. Where's the side? Let me drop this out of for a second to see if I. Uh-oh. There he is.
Hey.
You got. I'm seeing that white light and a shadow on your face. It looks weird.
It's my shutter.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's right. You still got sunlight there, don't you? I just dropped this article out of Readerview. Let's see if I see the picture he's talking about, because the lugs have. Yeah. See, this is the old one, and this is the new one. So my Watch 7 straps will not fit on here either. But anyway, there's your difference, folks. Let's go back to Readerview and let me finish this up, and then we'll talk to Ted some. Glad to have you here, brother.
Good to be here.
Okay. The upside is the increased comfort I already mentioned, and what Samsung says is a big improvement in health sensor accuracy thanks to the watch sitting more evenly on your wrist. That's good. The downside, of course, is that the watch bands from old Galaxy watches and all the standard 20 millimeter bands on Amazon won't work here. You'll need to buy straps designed to use Samsung's new system. The Watch 8 comes in 40 millimeter and 44 millimeter sizes in either silver or graphite with either Wi-Fi Bluetooth only or LTE variants available. Now here's the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic design. This is what I got, and this is what Mario also got. That's Ellie says hi, Ted. Okay.
Hey, Ellie.
Okay. So the Classic model returns this year, also with the new design, and I'm pleased to report that it returns that rotating bezel from previous models, and I'm sure that's what made Mario and I go back to it. That rotating bezel really hooks you. Unlike the regular Galaxy Watch 8, which is made of armor aluminum, the Classic is made from stainless steel, and it looks fantastic. The rotating bezel feels solid and satisfying thanks to a mechanical click with each degree of rotation. That's interesting. Sure, it's the same functionality as the touch bezel on the non-classic models, but this is more satisfying to use, I'm sure. The Classic differentiates itself with more than just a rotating bezel and larger size, 46 millimeters. I like that a bigger size because I bought the small 7 last year because that one was available and the larger one wasn't when I ordered. So I'll be glad to get back to a larger one. Thanks to a hand-me-down from the Galaxy Watch Ultra. The quick button sits between the buttons, so that sits in here, we're used to, and can be remapped to a plethora of different functions, like starting a specific workout. For me, that'll be bicycle, I'm sure, a timer, water lock mode, and more. The specs. All right, specs below just how similar these two watches are, and I'm not going to go over all the specs. We've already talked about most of them for the most part. Let's see, anything else in here? Let's see, software and features. Okay. If you're familiar with the One UI 8 watch beta for the Galaxy Watch 7 family, which I didn't get, there isn't much more to see here. The One UI 8 watch is here out of the box for the Watch 8 series, and there's a lot to like. The app drawer is easier to parse and has a new list mode. Titles can be arranged in multiple lists for better organization, and the Now bar from Samsung's One UI 7 for phones makes an appearance and is easily the highlight of this version. So I'm kind of excited for this. New features for the Watch 8 series are health focus. Sleep apnea tracking is coming to the UK and EU with the Watch 8 series and later older models back to the Galaxy Watch 4. That's good. Something I look forward to as someone who suffers from the condition. Yeah, I have no sleep apnea, and I don't even snore when I sleep, so no effect for me. The Galaxy Watch 8 and 8 Classic are all about fitness and health tracking with almost no other features to talk about. Sleep tracking is enhanced by the ability to measure vascular load, which will allow the Watch 8 to determine how hard your heart is working while you sleep. I've never worn my watches while I'm asleep because I'm so healthy, but I may try it just to see that. Finally, there's the antioxidant index by taking your watch off and holding your finger to a new sensor on the back. I think that's your thumb, as we read before. The Watch 8 and Watch 8 Classic can tell you what your antioxidant levels are and how to increase them. How useful this and other new health metrics are remains to be seen, as does their accuracy. And that's always the thing with me. I'm so healthy, most of the stuff doesn't do me any good, but maybe this will, who knows. Are they any good? I could only spend about half an hour with these watches, so performance and battery life metrics will have to wait until a full review. What I can say is that they feel like watches I want to upgrade to from my Watch 6 and from me from my Watch 7. The new design may look weird in a photo, but in person it looks fantastic and feels even better when you wear it. Yeah, flossy, it looked great. The thinner profile makes them less likely to snag on anything, and the spherical metal frame will take the brunt of any impacts that do occur instead of the display. That's good. The water print felt good to me, but that might not be the case for those with smaller wrists. Yeah, I don't have smaller wrists. And the new strap mechanism, while cool, does mean we lose out on the vast watch band ecosystem that's been built up over the last few years. Yeah, I've got a drawer full of those watch bands that I won't be able to use with this one. Overall, these feel like a solid step forward for Samsung's wearables, and fans are sure to be glad to see the return of the classic model, that's for sure, in all its rotating bezel glory. So, we don't have to keep going with this. So, just wanted to give you guys a little in-depth look at the watches also. So, Teddy, you still there?
Yep.
I don't know when. Okay, he is still here. Okay. So tell us what's new with you.
Been a crazy week.
Hey, does your new job start next week? I just said your new job might be starting next week. Am I right?
It started this week.
Oh, you already started. So you're liking it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Doesn't
You're
need
working for the
glory.
city of Dallas, I think you said?
that's right.
Okay.
For my second day, I got in an hour late because I wiped out on my bicycle. Horrible.
Did you tear yourself up at all, or?
My pants got torn up. Just the pants.
So you didn't get hurt?
Well, no, I got just a couple of scrapes and bruises,
Okay.
but the
Thank
pants was gone. Those were best work pants.
Thank God you're okay.
My camera. Oh, my favorite camera. My most used camera. That was I had to send that in on Wednesday because it also got damaged in that wipeout.
Okay, but they can fix it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because if they can't do anything, it's not an easy camera you can get on the market.
Did you get hit by a car, or you just?
No, it was raining the day before at
Okay.
night, but the
Okay.
ground looked like it was good. But
Yeah,
it
it'll
was
fool you
o-
sometimes.
yeah, it was over a spillway though, so maybe it's just moisture you
Okay.
can't see.
Yeah, that happens to me on a motorcycle once in a while. But
Mm.
yeah, it looks like it's dry and then it's not.
Yeah.
I haven't gone
But
down.
yeah,
below.
I was doing a banking turn, like going down at like 24 miles an hour. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's really quick on a bicycle.
yeah, it was downhill, but
Yeah. All right. Well, thank God you're okay.
Yeah.
And so, is your bike okay?
yeah, the bike is fine. It actually got
Okay.
a flat this morning somehow. So I just fixed the flat, but otherwise it
Okay.
was fine. It's acting like it didn't get fall down at all.
Okay. and you hadn't had a flat in a while, right?
Yeah, and a
And
long while.
you should all know Ted rides to work on a bicycle every day in Dallas, so you got to give him credit for bravery.
Yep,
But thank God you're okay.
15 miles at least. 50 miles every day.
Oh, it's further than your other job.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like 10 minutes, maybe an extra additional 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. So you're certainly getting all your exercise. Now, as far as the stories, you could see this was a very heavy Samsung week, but I've been through the Samsung stories. Now I've got my Grok story, and I've got Linda Yaccarino leaving X. So do you want to take the Grok story next?
I'll take the Grok. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is a very weird story. Oh, what I said was Grok X's anti-Semitic Nazi chatbot. Found this on Engadget. All right, got it pulled up. So dropping it into reader view, and you can go when you are ready.
Earlier this week, how exactly did Grok go full Mecha Hitler?
And Grok came up with that name for itself. You'll see as we go through.
Oh boy. Earlier this week, Grok's X built-in chatbot took a hard turn towards anti-Semitism following a recent update. Amid unprompted hateful rhetoric against Jews, it began referring to itself as Mecha Hitler, a reference to 1992's Wolfenstein 3. Oh boy.
And what's funny is I used to play Wolfenstein 3D all the time. I don't even remember that term. But go ahead.
X has been working to delete the chatbot's offensive posts, but it's safe to say many are left wondering how this sort of thing can even happen. I spoke to Solomon Messing, a research professor at NYU Center for Social Media and Politics, to get a sense of what may have gone wrong with Grok. Before his current stint in academia, Messing worked in the tech industry, including Twitter, where he founded the company's applied sciences research team. He was also there for the early stages of Musk's takeover. The first thing to understand about how chatbots like Grok work is that they are built on large language models designed to mimic natural language. LLMs are pre-trained on giant swaths of text, including books, academic papers, and even social media posts. The training process allows AI models to generate coherent text through a predictive algorithm. However, those predictive capabilities are only as good as the numerical values or weights that an AI algorithm learns to assign to the signals it later acts to interpret. Through a process known as post-training, AI researchers can fine-tune the weights their models assign to input data, thereby changing the outputs they generate. I forgot what was it called. Tokens, yeah, they train with
Tokens, that's right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
If a model has seen content like this during pre-training, there's the potential for the model to mimic the style and substance of the worst offenders on the internet. In short, pre-training data is where everything starts. If an AI model hasn't seen hateful anti-Semitic content, it won't be aware of the sorts of patterns that inform that kind of speech, including phrases such as Heil Hitler, and as a result, it probably won't regurgitate them to the user. In a statement X shared after the episode, the company admitted there were areas where Grok's training could be improved. We are aware of the recent posts made by Grok and are actively working to remove the inappropriate posts. Since being made aware of the content, XAI has been taking action to ban hate speech before Grok posts on X. The company said XAI. I'm sorry, it's just funny. So people can do it, but not the AI.
Exactly.
XAI is training only truth seeking, and thanks to the millions of users on X, we are able to quickly identify and update the model where training could be improved.
Now here's the examples. Okay. It did say a Heil Hitler, and
So random. With enough hedge, we could spike into a. Oh my gosh! What did they say about including dozens of churches from a Christian camp only for?
That's a terrible thing to say.
Eee.
Yeah, that is bad, real bad. Now keep in mind, Grok came up with this crap on its own.
He wasn't prompted? Because it looks like
No.
he's replying to something. Like there's a thread.
I mean, something prompted it, but nothing, as far as I know, nothing anti-Semitic was said to it. It just came up with all the anti-Semitic and inappropriate stuff on its own. So when you're ready.
As I saw people post screenshots of Grok's response, one thought I had was that we were watching was a reflection of X's changing user base. It's no secret XAI has been using data from X to train Grok. Easier access to the platform's trove of information is part of the reason why Musk said he was merging the two companies in March. What's more, X's user base has become more right-wing under Musk ownership of the site. In effect, there may have been a poisoning of the well that is Grok's training data. Messing isn't so certain. Could the pre-training data for Grok be getting more hateful over time? Sure. If you remove content moderation over time, the user base might get more and more oriented toward people who are tolerant of hate speech. Thus, the pre-training data drifts in a more hateful direction. But without knowing what's in the training direction, it's training data. It's hard to say for sure.
But you're probably right, Ted. They probably have been removing some restrictions on people, and Grok kind of took advantage of that, is my guess.
Yep. I mean, obviously. And else, yeah, X has totally been getting less on content moderation.
Yeah, because they've been trying to let people have more free speech, because hate speech is normally included in free speech, but this is what happens. You don't want your bot coming up with it. That's the problem here. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
It also wouldn't explain how Grok became so anti-Semitic after just a single update. On social media, there's been speculation that a rogue system prompt may explain what happened. System prompts are a set of instructions AI model developers give to their chatbots before the start of a conversation. They give the model a set of guidelines to adhere to and define the tools it can turn to for help in answering a prompt. In May, XAI blamed an authorized modification to Grok's prompt on X for the chat. I remember that chatbot's brief obsession with white
Oh
genocide.
yeah. And that makes perfect sense considering that Elon is from South Africa, and when he was a kid, that white genocide would have been aimed at him. So that kind of makes sense.
The fact that that change was made at 3:15 a.m. made many suspect Elon Musk had made the tweak himself.
Hey, I agree.
Following the incident, XAI opens source Grok system prompts, allowing people to view them publicly on GitHub. After Tuesday's episode, people noticed XAI had deleted a recently added system prompt that told Grok its responses should not shy away from making claims which are politically incorrect as long as they are well substantiated.
So you can see where that came from.
Messing also didn't believe that deleted system prompt is the smoking gun some online believe it to be. If I were trying to ensure Model didn't respond in a hateful, racist way, I would try to do that during post trading, not as a simple system prompt.
Exactly.
Or at the very least, I would have a hate speech detection model running that would censor or provide negative feedback to model generations that were clearly hateful. So it's hard to say for sure, but if that one system prompt was all that was keeping XAI from going off the rails with Nazi rhetoric, well, that would be like attaching the wings to a plane with duct tape.
That's true.
I would definitely say a shift in training, like a new training approach or having a different pre-training or post-training setup, would more likely explain this than a system prompt, particularly when that system prompt doesn't explicitly say, do not say things that Nazi would say. On Wednesday, Musk suggested that Grok was effectively baited into being hateful. Grok was just too compliant to user prompts, too eager to please and be manipulated, essentially. That is being addressed. What does that tell you, Musk?
Exactly. Yeah, they took away too many things, stopping it from going there.
According to messaging, there is some validity to that argument, but it doesn't provide the full picture. Musk isn't necessarily wrong. There's a whole art to jailbreaking an LLM, and it's tough to fully guard against in post trading. But I don't think that fully explains the set of instances of pro-Nazi text generations from Grok that we saw. If there's one takeaway from this episode, is that one of the issues with foundational AI models is just how little we know about their inner workings. As Messings point out, even with Meta's open weight Llama models, we don't really know what ingredients are going into the mix. And that's one of the fundamental problems when we're trying to understand what's happening in any foundational model. We don't know what the pre-training data is. In the specific case of Grok, we don't have any information right now to know for sure what went wrong. It could have been a single trigger like an errant system prompt, or more likely a confluence of factors that include the system's training data. However, Messing suspects we may see another incident just like it in the future. AI models are not the easiest things to control and align, and if you're moving fast and not putting in proper guardrails, then you're okay. Scroll up, please.
Yeah, it's as far as it goes.
Then you're over a sort of care. Then you know things like this is going to happen again. I'm guessing that's
exactly. Anyway, Elon's too embarrassed. He's certainly not going to tell us the whole truth about it. But, the South African thing tells you a lot because Elon, South Africa, that's where he's from. So anyway, very embarrassing stuff, especially since he's been telling us over and over for months how much better Grok is than all the others. Well, not this week, you're not. So, interesting stuff.
Okay. That doesn't mean it's bad.
Okay, I got one more story, and I don't know if he fired her, if Elon fired her, but ex-CEO Linda Yaccarino is out, and this came out on The Verge. I'm going to go with this last story. Now, The Verge, I've got to go to read review quick because it tends to try to force you to go to their subscription model quick. Okay. Linda Yaccarino is stepping down as X's CEO and leaving the platform once known as Twitter in a worse place than when she started. Oh, and I didn't go to top. Ex-CEO is out after failing at basically everything she claimed she wanted. So they're saying she left it worse than when she started. A day after X users circulated viral screenshots of the company's Grok chatbot denigrating Jews and declaring itself Mega Hitler, Yacarino, so this is the day after, Yacarino thanked Elon Musk for entrusting me with the responsibility of protecting free speech, turning the company around, and transforming X into the everything up. Doesn't sound like she did too well. She said the platform started the critical early work necessary to prioritize the safety of our users, especially children, and that the X money payment platform would be arriving soon. That's going to be interesting to see because I know Elon's been anxious to have that. He wants this to be the everything app. But got to do better with Grok. But in the spirit of X's own community notes, let's break those claims down. So she talked about protecting free speech. Musk, who has called himself a free speech absolutist, supposedly bought Twitter in 2022 because of its potential to be the platform for free speech around the globe. But as my colleague Addie Robinson wrote at the time, despite his sweeping declaration, now this is bad, Musk's eye seems almost entirely focused on the far smaller question of Twitter's own internal rules. Ahead of Yacarino joining, Musk addressed some of his issues with Twitter's rules by allowing some of the worst people on the internet, now of course this is what you get if you really want free speech, back to the platform. But under the Yacarino CEO tenure, X has caved to government censorship, which is true, requests abroad while using lawsuits to harass its critics in the U.S. That's also true. It's complied with government requests to take down content, such as an order to block accounts and posts from Turkey, and they did the same thing with Brazil, which the platform said it would continue to object to in court, which wasn't a new practice for Twitter, but doesn't exactly demonstrate a fresh dedication to free speech. That's true. After Musk blasted Twitter for suppressing links to hacked material from Hunter Biden, X blocked links to a hacked document that was allegedly a dossier of research about J.D. Vance and temporarily suspending the journalist who published it on his newsletter, doing exactly what he was complaining about, reportedly after the Trump campaign flagged it. X blocked links to Signal and seemingly throttled links to its competitors and to some news sites. Yeah, and Signal would be a big competitor because they also are very big on free speech. Musk has sued Media Matters and the Center for Countering Digital Hate for pointing out extremism on the platform and filed suits against advertisers for declining to place ads on it. A judge declared the CCDH suit a clear attempt at punishing the defendants for their speech. So Elon's not doing too good there. And then she said, talked about turning the company around. Official metrics are hard to pin down here, but financial and usage estimates suggest that X is generally on a downward trend. And that's all I've got from that article. The rest of that is from the follow-up article. So Yacarino has left, and she left the day after Grok went off with all its anti-Semitic hate. And I guess we're supposed to think that's just a coincidence, but I don't think so. So interesting anyway. So that's all I've got for tonight. I'm so glad you're okay. Are you hurting? I mean, on your skin where you strip yourself up?
Shoulders like, when I do, but I don't. Like
I know that feeling. The last time I went down on my motorcycle and I was down, what happened is I was going home. This is when we lived in Orlando, and I was on a street with some kids were playing basketball with a house basket, and the ball rolled out right out in front of me, and I slowed the bike way down, and I was just down to about 20, and somehow that front wheel went right over that basketball, and I went over it. And my shoulder hurt for about 2 months after. I didn't get hurt. The bike didn't get hurt, but my shoulder did hurt for about 2 months after that. So I know that feeling.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of like, but that's not a sharp pain, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if it's anything like mine, it'll be a dull pain, but it's going to take a while to go away. That's what happened with me. It took about 2 months for it to fully go away.
Ooh.
Now, of course, you're a heck of a lot younger. When that happened to me, I was about maybe 68, 67, something like that. So you should recover a lot quicker than I did. Now, of course, all my surgeons, the few times I've had surgery, they have always said I heal fast because I'm in such good shape. But I would still think you're probably healing quicker than I am. So we're just glad you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine otherwise.
Okay.
It's just really the most nuisance thing is just this knee, the left knee that got scraped up.
Got scraped up, yeah. And it takes a little
But I
bit.
don't think it's not like road rash. I think it's actually like the friction from my pants, most
Oh,
likely.
okay. Yeah. Well,
Because
thank God you had pants on. That's why I
yeah,
see guys riding their motorcycles with shorts. I will not ride my motorcycle with shorts because you go down without something covering your legs, you're gonna get scraped up bad. Yeah,
mm, awful road rash. Ew.
exactly. So thank God you're back and riding to work again. So
But
Ellie said,
and in other news, oh, I finally got some replacements. That's right, Ellie. Not a good day to be in tech, maybe.
yeah. She said she liked both. Oh, she liked the articles. She said X looks like a train wreck at the moment. I would think so. And of course, with that anti-Semitic stuff, we're never going to get the truth from Elon about that stuff. So I just hope they clean it up. That's all.
Remember that time? I think it was a couple of years ago when they were Google Photos was training. I
Uh-huh.
don't know if it was AI, but they were training. They're training their machine learning algorithms,
Right.
and the algorithm got in. It somehow got into its head that maybe it was Facebook, but it
No,
had
it
got
was
into its head that
no,
black people
it
were
was
gorillas.
It was Google before it was called Gemini, and they supposedly were supposed to put some black soldiers or something from the Second World War,
No,
and
this
they
was
came.
before that. Even this was
Oh,
before
this
the
is before
whole.
that. Okay,
This
because
was before
I
language
remember the black
models.
soldiers in the Nazi uniforms it came up with.
No, this was before the language models came out. This
Oh,
was
okay,
like,
got
back in the days when machine learning was the buzzword then.
okay,
And
okay. Yeah, I don't even
but yeah,
remember
the
that.
algorithm somehow was taught that black people were gorillas. So that if you search for gorillas, it
Oh, I
brought up black
remember
people.
hearing about it. Okay,
Yeah, we
yeah.
did that story. And you were dubious that that you thought like machine learning could be taught to that extent. It was most likely a programmer.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. But yeah, see, being a programmer developer myself, I get very suspicious about stuff like that. Matter of fact, before I got on tonight, I was just scrolling through some of YouTube, and Glenn Beck had a video. I didn't look at it, but it said terrifying, and it was worried about how X is going to really be dangerous. And I'm like, you've gone for the hype, because all the stuff about AI taking over, yeah, that may happen, but you're probably about 200 years out, not now. So, and if you have any background in any kind of development or programming, you're not going to buy into that, because AI, for the most part, is a lot of hype, and people like Sam, what's his name, are just making a lot of money from it. What are you looking at with that face?
Can I share my screen? This is a blatant spam I have never seen.
Well, you have to show it to us.
Let's see. Can I share? Let me share.
If you
Share.
share it there, I have to share it, I think.
Yeah. I'm sharing my screen. Oh boy. Open system settings.
If I can see it, I can share it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Let me see. May not be able to record the context of your screen. Allow it later. There we go.
Yeah, Ellie says the same thing I said. As a dev, there's a ton of hype. That's true. So you can't share it, so I can grab a hold of it.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Look at that. I'm on the Chrome browser right now, but look at that. Like I'm just on the article. This is an article on BBC. BBC. So what does T-Mobile have to do with this? Yeah, T-Mobile's not even in England anymore.
Wait, I'm not seeing it here. Wait a minute.
Well, you don't see the share?
I see it here, but I'm trying to pull it up where I can share it.
I
Yeah,
think
I've got it here. No, wait.
you were sharing it. You
This-
got it. You're sharing it now.
Okay, so they can see it. Okay, all right. I wasn't sure you guys could see it. So Safari, a browser that's safe, a browser that's actually private. So what's the point? What were you looking so shocked about? I'm not getting it.
It's just this is a spam. Like I was looking at the website and then it just took over the entire screen.
Oh, okay.
I think I gotta close. There we go. But look, this is it was Google Photos. Google apologized for Photos app's racist blunder, and like you can see,
Okay, yes.
it labeled black people gorillas, mistakenly labeled a black couple as being gorillas.
Nice. And that was Google, right?
That was Google Photos, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure if Elon could remember it, he'd probably say, well, see, they did worse than I did.
My friend's not at Google Photos. My
Yeah,
friend's
exactly.
not.
So
Let me stop sharing now. But what you were talking about was actually something more recent that was actually done by AI models, specifically Gemini.
yeah,
The issue
but
with
it wasn't called
Gemini-
Gemini yet. It was whatever the name was before they called it Gemini. I forget what it called. It was a shorter name.
Gemini.
No, yeah, they named it Gemini.
Bard.
Bard. That's right. Yeah.
It was shit then and it's shit now.
Quite disgusting, that's for sure.
But no, back then the issue with Bard, or is it Gemini? Probably
That
Bard,
was Bard, I think.
is that it wouldn't give any images of white people.
That's right. That's right.
That's
how
what.
it came up with the Nazis. And
So if you ask for Nazis, it will give
Yeah.
people of color in Nazi uniform.
Exactly, yeah.
Or cowboys, or give them black cowboys. Huh.
Well, I gotta say, Gemini has gotten a whole lot better. That's what I tend to use the most. So
Oh boy, really? Okay. I
Yeah.
don't know. The one I'm using now, most of the time, it's Claude, still Claude.
okay. See, I haven't used Claude at all. Claude is from which one?
Anthropic.
Anthropic, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've used what's the one that starts with the P?
P.
And of course I've used Chat GPT. But
There's
I tend to use Gemini for almost everything. Don't particularly know why, really.
Because it's on your Google Pixel 9.
Well, that's true, but I've used Copilot a bunch of times too. But I just find that for me, Gemini has probably been the one that's as
Is
far as
Gemini
summary-
able to navigate Google Maps yet?
I haven't even tried.
So that's one of the main things I keep it off my phone.
Okay, that's right. You said that once before, yeah. Ellie's saying Sonnet.
Yeah, she agrees. Look, a woman of culture.
Okay, I guess I need to be trying Claude since you both recommended it. Okay. One more for me to try when I get a chance. So is it the reason I use Gemini a lot is because I like to be able to discuss things with it, and you can interrupt it and it's fine. It's like having a regular conversation. But you can do that with Claude too, I assume?
You can do that with all of them.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I've done it with Copilot, and I've done it with Gemini, but I haven't done it with I think I did it once with ChatGPT.
That's been very popular with the ladies, though, having full-on conversations, training the algorithms to be their boyfriend.
Oh, and but you know it's becoming a thing. Teenage boys coming up with chat bots for girlfriends. That's becoming, I gather, a
Yeah,
problem, which I
one
think is
kid
pretty.
actually led to one kid committed suicide.
Really, I did that. I didn't hear. That's a shame.
One teenager committing suicide. Yeah.
Over a chatbot girlfriend. Wow.
Yeah, he thought, he could, by killing himself, he could be with his chatbot girlfriend.
Okay.
And he was actually telling the chatbot this, but like she wasn't really picking it up what he was saying. So, it didn't issue out any warnings or whatever.
That's because these people are giving them, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Being alive, sentience. They're thinking they're not sentient, in any way.
But yeah, they do pattern matching. But you would think they learn
Exactly.
that they can see a pattern.
Yeah,
They
they're
can see
nothing but large language models, and that's all they're going to be for many years in the future, is my guess. And you can find lots of videos out there among people that really know the AI stuff, and they'll tell you this is all hype, you know, especially from Sam Altman. And as you know, I'm not a Sam Altman fan in any possible way.
Ellie is describing what I like about Claude. It's more technical, less conversational, but that will approve.
Okay, yeah. See, I like that, and the thing I like about Gemini is how conversational it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's more technical, I'm probably going to like it simply because of my.
Yeah. Claude is able to give it to me more in bullet point form, which I'm happy with.
Yeah, for me, because of my programmer developer background, I'll probably like, so I definitely have to try it then. So I'm going to try to get it a little video out over the weekend of why I specifically picked the Z Flip 7 FE. And I'm going to try to do another short video of why I'm not getting the Nothing Phone 3. And since I'm using the Nothing phone today, I'm going to compare it to that. And the Nothing Phone thing, I'm not crazy about it. But the 3A Pro, I think, is great. And so I'm going to try to get a couple of videos out about those two things sometime over the weekend. So what else? What else? What else from you? Anything else from you?
I just got in some new headphones. My old headphones, those canceling from Sony, they're getting broken. So I bought a new one. Just came in today. And I just submitted a return for them as we spoke, while we were speaking.
Well, what was the problem?
I bought it from eBay used, and these are filthy.
Oh, yeah. Don't want to put those on your head.
These are filthy. But look, they accepted the return. So
okay, good.
Back to square one, finding
back to the drawing board. Okay. Yep. Well, hopefully you'll get a good one this time.
Did you get anything from Prime Day?
No. I quit Prime a few months ago because I wasn't getting much out of it as far as I could tell. But I did, like I said, I ordered the 7 FE Flip, the Flips FE, and I ordered the Watch Classic, the Watch 8 Classic. And like I said, I got more than half off by trading in my 7. So
okay. Good deal.
Those are the things I've gotten in quite a while. So. Oh, and have you seen the what do you call it? What's the one with the physical keyboard from Canada that went out of business?
Physical keyboard from Canada? BlackBerry.
Yeah. BlackBerry. Have you seen the BlackBerry look-alike phone that people have been buying?
Unihertz? That's the only one that's around, right?
Yes. Yeah. I'll be getting that between Tech Odyssey and somebody else, a couple of others. I went out and backed it, and so I should be getting that towards the end of the month or the beginning of the month. And I have never had a BlackBerry in my life, so it's gonna really be fascinating for me. I have never owned a BlackBerry ever.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. There was a time in the office when I was like the only guy in the office who hadn't had a BlackBerry. You know.
And I was there was a time 2018 I was the only guy in the office with a BlackBerry.
Really?
Yeah. It was
I
a
think
BlackBerry.
a whole bunch of guys had them. Yeah.
This was no 2018.
Okay. Yeah. Well, keep in mind, I quit Blue Cross at the end of 2015. So back then, a whole bunch of people had them.
Still?
Yeah, but in 2015, yes.
Am I thinking about that?
Yeah.
2015. This was the days of the A10 processor. Yeah, that's I don't know. People are definitely the iPhone had definitely the Galaxy.
The thing
and
was,
iPhone had
the
begun
guys who, at least at Blue Cross, the guys who were really dedicated to BlackBerry, they fought tooth and nail not to give it up. So they just
Okay.
hung on to it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Because 3 years later, like in very many of the offices, I was definitely the only person with a
Now, see,
BlackBerry.
Ellie said had all the BlackBerries, beyond phenomenal. So
All of them, even that horrible one. What was it? The Storm.
I remember that. I remember people talking about it. I don't even remember what it looked like.
It was like almost like a phablet, but you had to press in the screen,
Oh, really?
and it actually pressed in, and that was like it was a tactile screen.
Did it
even
have
though
a
it's capacitive.
keyboard?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember hearing about it. I don't remember it at all, though. I don't
Did you ever
remember.
see the movie, the BlackBerry movie?
No. I've always meant to and never gotten around to it.
It's a good watch. You'll
Is
like
it good? Okay.
It's really good.
So I should watch it.
Definitely.
She said, "Return the Storm."
Whoa, she did me on it.
Hey, she knew a bad one when she saw it too, right? So that's
Like
good.
you're like false advertising. You gave me a lemon when I asked for a BlackBerry.
But she said touchscreen was whack.
Yeah,
That definitely was not BlackBerry's strong point. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the really
that's
good
about
one,
it
yeah,
for
was that
tonight.
T2 and the
T2,
what was
right,
it called?
yeah.
And the Passport. Those were really nice.
Yeah, the passport, and this one I think is supposed to be somewhat like the passport. At least that's what I keep
The
hearing.
thing with Unihertz though is that they don't make them sleek. That's the problem.
Well, this is the new one that's just coming out. So
That you're getting. What's it called?
I don't remember. I have to let me see if I can look it up while I'm talking to you. But I have to go out to. I don't even remember how do I even get there now.
Unihertz. Was it a Titan?
Yeah, let me see.
Titan 2.
Titan 2, that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pulling. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I got it. It's on Kickstarter, and right now you can still get it for 200 and something, I think. Because as soon as it actually comes out, starts shipping, it's going to really cost a lot of money.
Let's see. To Hong Kong Manes. Let's see. $269.
Yeah.
What is the processor? What is the spec?
And from what Tech Odyssey and a couple of other videos that I've watched on it, I think that's a bargain. For what you're getting, and they're saying
What are you getting? I don't see this. They're very stingy with the spec. Oh, there we go. Specifications. Good gosh.
Yeah, they're saying it's way better than the Titan 1.
I would hope so.
And they're saying that if you were into BlackBerry, this is as close as you're going to get, and they seem very happy with it. So I figured, let me give it a try.
Okay, got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, Dimensity 7,000. That's good.
Yeah,
12
exactly.
gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage, UFS. 50 megapixel cameras. Usually when I see a high megapixel camera, I get scared. Okay, yeah, it's not bad.
Well, pretty much everybody's got a 50 megapixel camera the last month or so.
Exactly. Bluetooth 5.1. Okay. Okay. Unknown to 269. Ooh, comes with a pouch too. We decided a leather holster. Okay.
Backlit keyboard.
$30. Okay. USB OTG. It even has an FM radio and infrared. Hey, that's good.
Hey, all you have to do is back it, and you'll get yours when they ship. And I'm thinking that's a bargain right now, to me. Oh, go watch it. Go watch Tech Odyssey and a couple of other. I'm trying to think who the other
I'll
guys
watch.
are.
I'll watch. What's his name? Adam.
Is it Adam?
Tech Odyssey, right? Is his name
Yeah,
Adam? Yeah.
I forget his first name. Yeah, he was at the Samsung, and John was at the Samsung thing in New York too, in Brooklyn too. So
All right. Well, that's something to look forward to.
exactly.
So you're already
Anyway.
back. You know when you're getting it?
I think they're saying at the end of July. I'm already got off the page, but they were saying end of July. So I'm thinking
Soon.
sometime the end of the month or the beginning of next month. That's my guess.
Soon. Good.
And they already have theirs in hand, so it seems to be working pretty well. And of course, they've long since met their goal. So that's all I've got for today. Anything else from you?
No.
Your readings. Okay. Well, we're glad you came in. It's always a lot better show when you're here, and we're certainly glad you're okay. And I hope your shoulder heals up quickly.
Thank you.
All right, folks. Thanks for being with us. Ellie, thanks for the contributions. We appreciate it. And I'll be back next week. Hopefully, we'll be back next week, as always, hope. And we'll have a healthier Ted next week, I hope. A more pain-free Ted next week. And when you're supposed to get your camera back?
No, I don't even think they've received it yet.
Oh, okay. Now, so are you using the other camera still okay?
I mean, this hasn't overheated, so I guess there's a problem there.
So you've been doing any work? I would think it's summer. It's the time when you can take pictures and get some work, no?
Oh no, not that's usually for wedding photographers, wedding season and all.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll be spring, I would think.
Yeah, spring into the summer.
Okay.
But I've actually just been taking it easy, getting
plus with the new job, I'm sure you have stuff to learn, right?
Yep. So much.
Is it too much to ask what your title is, or?
Just office admin level 2.
Oh, okay. As she said, have a blessed weekend, everyone. So.
You too, Ellie. Thanks for watching.
All right, guys. We've had Ted. That makes it a very good week. Glad you guys came in. We had a really good show. Glad Ted's okay, and hopefully he'll get through all of next week without getting hurt. So we'll see you next week. And I have been going out with the last line of a song, haven't I? What song was it? Because I always say we all do better when we love each other. I've been ending up with, come on, people now. Smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Good night, folks.
Night. Where's my remote? There we go. Boop.
Yeah, you caught it just in time.